Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Duos matchmaking for Firestorm is here. DICE is testing this mode this week and looking for player feedback. They'll be collecting that feedback and player data to determine if Duos is something they really want. It's been a highly requested feature since Firestorm was first revealed. I did a first impressions video about Duos, so be sure to check that out. Another massive data mine for Battlefield 5 revealed more info about the game's upcoming 5v5 competitive mode. It's currently scheduled for release in Tides of War Chapter 4. It resembles Battlefield 1's Incursions competitive mode in many ways. In addition to the standard 4 classes, Assault, Medic, Support, and Recon, there will be a 5th Captain class. Each class can equip a limited set of weapons and gadgets in predefined loadouts. There will be 4 tanks available, with each team being able to use one at a time. The mode has 5 different maps to play on: Province, Norway, Libya, Caskets, and Rotterdam, although these locations are probably going to be somewhat different than the original maps with the same name. There are 4 different game modes associated with this competitive mode: Extraction, Breakthrough, King of the Hill, Holdout. The data mine also revealed 3 other modes: Conquest, Grind, Tank Superiority, and Squad Conquest Tournament. There's a bunch of other details and stuff in the data mine, so be sure to check them out in the links below. Black Ops 4 Battle Royale mode Blackout has a new map. Called ALCATRAZ, it's set on the iconic San Francisco prison island. It launched on PlayStation 4 earlier this month and is now available on all platforms. It's currently free to play to all players, but will require the Season Pass to access it starting next month. Unlike the game's original Battle Royale map, players can respawn on Alcatraz. It's also smaller and has zombies roaming throughout the map instead of just in specific spots. FORTNITE is getting on the respawn action as well. A recent update for the game added respawn vans scattered throughout the map. Players have 90 seconds to collect a respawn card from their dead teammates. Those cards can be used at respawn vans, bringing your teammates back into the match. Unlike Apex's respawn beacons, FORTNITE's respawn vans aren't single use. After a 120-second cooldown, they can be used again. You also respawn with a basic pistol and some building materials. Caustic's gas traps and Octane's jump pads can both be stuck to Gibraltar's arm shield. The result is pretty funny looking. The gas traps can be stacked, giving Gibraltar a pillar of death to attack enemies with, and he can use the jump pad to bounce around the map. Obviously, this stuff is going to get patched out at some point. It's not game breaking, but it's clearly unintended. A teaser for Respawn's upcoming Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was released on EA's official Twitter account. It gives us basically no new info about the game, but the good news is a full reveal is happening today. It's part of this weekend's Star Wars Celebration event and will be streamed on Twitch. For now, we know the game is a story-driven single-player game set after the events of Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Respawn's work on the Titanfall 2 campaign was critically acclaimed, so hopefully they can repeat that success with this title. Aside from Battlefront 2, it'll be the first modern single-player Star Wars game since Lucasfilm was bought by Disney. And of course, it's not necessarily game-related, but the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer was revealed at the Star Wars Celebration, and I gotta say it doesn't look too bad, so I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on that movie as well. 11 minutes of new gameplay for the upcoming open-world shooter Rage 2 has been released. It showcases the game's vehicle combat, new grav dart weapon, and a fight with 2 boss-style enemies. Doom fans will be excited to see the BFG 9000 back in full glory as well. Rage 2 launches on May 14th. Fallout 76 players are worried the game is becoming pay-to-win. A new item called the Repair Kit was added to the game's item shop. It can be used to repair any item in your inventory fully. Before the game's launch, Bethesda said the game would only have cosmetic items for sale, and it wouldn't be pay-to-win in any way. Even though repair kits aren't game-changing and you can only buy the basic one from the shop, that hasn't done much to satisfy players worried about future items being added to the shop. Sniper Elite version 2 Remastered finally has a release date. It launches on May 14th. The original game launched in 2012 to incredible reception and is considered a highlight of the franchise. The remaster will offer both 4K and HDR support, as well as updates to pretty much every aspect of the game. It will be available on all platforms. On PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, players can enable 60 FPS mode that sacrifices some visuals and resolution for higher FPS. On PC, the frame rate and resolution will be uncapped. The Kickstarter campaign for the old school FPS PRODEUS is closing in on its funding goal. To celebrate, the devs released a new gameplay video. It looks kind of like a mashup of the popular Doom overhaul mod, Brutal Doom, with a more modern FPS game. Its blend of retro graphics and modern animation gives it a really unique look. The footage is pre-alpha, but looks very promising. Hopefully the end product lives up to expectations. The PlayStation Network now supports PSN ID changes. Customers get one free name change with subsequent changes costing $10 each. Any previous name though can be reverted to for free, and there's no name change limit. You can change names via the PS4 or PSN's website. Some games might not play nice with the name change system. Players could potentially lose their save data or access to paid content. That said, reverting will likely fix those issues, and the list of affected games is pretty short. Any game released after April 1st, 2018 will fully support the new system. AMD's next-generation console hardware is inching its way to production. Speculation predicts it will be an 8-core APU featuring an integrated Navi GPU. It's unconfirmed if Sony and Microsoft will tap AMD for their next-generation console hardware, but it seems likely. The PS4 and Xbox One use AMD's APUs, and all three companies have expressed interest in working together for future hardware. AMD's current generation APUs, the Ryzen 2200 and the 2400G, feature rather powerful integrated Vega GPUs. When running with dedicated VRAM, they offer performance on par with the base PS4 and Xbox One. Z1, the former H1Z1 Battle Royale mode developed by Daybreak Games, has been given back to the original developer. It was given to NantG, a mobile game studio, in late 2018 to bring the game back to its glory days before PUBG effectively stole its thunder. But NantG have given up, returning the game to Daybreak and laying off 13 employees in the process. Those employees have been brought over from Daybreak to continue working on the game, but will only be receiving severance pay from their brief time with NantG. According to one former employee, the layoffs could mean that some employees lost out on over 18 years worth of seniority. Daybreak will continue development of Z1 and keep the game's servers online. China wants to ban cryptocurrency mining sometime very soon. The country's Chief Planning Regulation Commission has proposed the ban because of the massive energy waste it creates. Mining, especially of more popular cryptocurrencies, requires an enormous amount of computer power. The hardware that miners use often draws a ton of electrical power, much more than the average gaming PC. Many mining operations use dozens, if not hundreds, or even thousands of computers. The end result is crypto mining in China generated up to 10 million tons of carbon dioxide between 2016 and 2018. It literally costs more to mine crypto than it does to mine actual gold in China. The commission is also worried that the companies invested in crypto will suffer massive financial loss due to the currency's incredible volatile nature. A new shooter by prior Darksiders developers called Remnant from the Ashes has some new trailers to check out. The game is a co-op shooter set in a post-apocalyptic world. It's in the same vein as Borderlands with a massive pool of loot to hunt down, but features procedurally generated environments. It's scheduled for release on August 20th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Dead Space fans may have something to look forward to. Negative Atmosphere was demoed at the EGX Rezzed conference and is currently being funded on Patreon. At first glance, it'd be too easy to mistake it for a Dead Space game. The demo was put together in 5 months. It looks pretty rough, but shows a lot of promise. NVIDIA have enabled RTX on non-RTX GPUs with their latest GPU driver update. The GTX 10 series video card can now run some RTX features. That said, don't expect a playable experience. With the RTX features enabled, the previous generation GPUs clock a whopping 9 FPS according to NVIDIA. People working in 3D design software or game engines that support RTX should be able to utilize GTX hardware, but again, RTX GPUs will offer superior performance. In our final story for the week, The Division 2 is getting a public test server. Title Update 3 is planned to launch on April 25th. It will launch with a test server running the game's upcoming Dark Hours raid update. All Division 2 players will have access to the test server. The raid itself won't be playable, but certain aspects of it will be implemented to collect player feedback and data. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know which story you thought was the most interesting in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.